Hey guys, my name is Josh Koerner. Hope you're having a great day today. I have loved 50mm lenses for a long time. I just came out with a review of this lens, the Sony 50 f1.4, on my full frame Sony a7 III, and I love it on there. But I also recognize that there are going to be a lot of people that shoot predominantly on APS-C cameras, which I have one of those because I used to be one of those people. And I think that this short telephoto length that this turns into on an APS-C camera can be really cool, and I think that it can be really cool for a number of reasons. First off, my first my first non-kit lens when I had my Rebel XS, still do, but you know what I mean, was actually the 50 f1.8 at Mark II before the STM from Canon. And that was a great lens. I really enjoyed using that. That opened a lot of doors for me, and I think this lens could open a whole bunch of doors for you as well. So with the price point of this lens being so much less than that of the big boy, the 55 f1.8 from Zeiss, that one's like $1,000 or so. This one's like $200, $250. There is a sale on right now with Sony, and so if you check out the affiliate link in the description, you can get that $50 off, which is great. Now, the reason why I love this so much is that 50 is like a range that can transfer really well between APS-C and full frame. When I went to full frame, I still wanted to shoot 50. I didn't want to shoot 85 a whole bunch. And so it's a lens, it's a focal length that can grow with you as you grow. If you ever want to get into full frame photography, it could be great for having kind of a built-in lens option that would cover that sensor size. So I would really appreciate it if y'all could, wait for it, motor drive all over that like button. Mean the world to me. I have not gotten a video over 100 likes lately. If we could do that, you and I together, that would be an excellent personal goal box to be able to cross off. So that would mean a lot to me. Now, a lot of people give it a lot of trouble for the autofocus performance. I find that the autofocus performance really is quite on par with that of the what I find is that the performance out of this lens is, in terms of autofocus, is very much on par with that of the Canon 50 f1.8 STM lens. But the performance out of this lens is pretty good. It's not going to, rock your socks, knock your socks off. There we go. Metaphors are hard sometimes, I promise. But it is going to resolve 29 megapixels out of 42 on the a7 II. So that's going to be like a 62% resolution rate. Pretty good. That's better than the Canon 50 f1.8 STM lens. It's going to be about 13 megapixels on the a6000 series cameras, which is going to equate to better than the Sony 50 f1.8 OSS for Sony a6000 series cameras. So, it's a great option, and it's a lot more flexible than the other options from Sony, because it means with this you can also have full frame images. And yeah, still a 50 f1.8. That other one is going to be a little bit more smoothly designed, but this is going to get the job done just as well. So I don't mind. You might mind. It's not as fast as, for example, the Tamron 2875, which you would have seen if you saw my review video. But I think that this opens a lot of creative doors for people that aren't interested in spending just an absolute bucket of money, but are interested in getting better photos, because what it allows you to do is it allows you to get the bokeh. It allows you to get that short telephoto range that's really appealing as far as focal lengths go. It allows you to be a little bit more expressive and creative in your lens choices and in the choices that you make around focal length and aperture selection. So it means that you can have more options, you can make more choices. All that means you can be a lot more creative. One of the big weak points of this lens is that the close focus distance is pretty bad. It's pretty far away. So right now I'm focusing on something over here. So that's probably 1.5 feet, 18 inches or so. That's not very good. I prefer to have a lens with a close focusing distance much closer, just because that gives me more flexibility and it increases the amount of creative options that I can have. Now this is serendipitous because I did not plan this at all, but that's really cool. Bees are awesome. I hope that worked out. The other great thing about this is that when you do move into the full frame space, you can kind of have a 2-in-1 option, right? Because on the Sony full frame cameras, you can just flip your camera into APS-C mode and then you have that same reach again, which is pretty great. Now, there is one bone that I have to pick with this lens, and that is that it seems like it's just way too big. Like, it's an f1.8, it doesn't need to be this big. The autofocus, I get. The price point, I get. There's a Sony tax because it's, Sony makes great stuff, but their bodies also cost probably a lot less than they necessarily speaking should. And so they have to kind of make that up with the lenses. As business model goes, I get it. What I don't like is the size of the lens. It doesn't weigh much. It's built very well, but I just wish it were a bit smaller. It feels like it's just a little bit too big for me to really enjoy the aesthetic quality of it. And photography for me, as a Sony photographer, has not been at all about passion, right? It's been about how can I execute my creative vision the best, and I believe that this is the way that I can do that. So one of the things that I've been looking for more lately in my cameras and my lenses, all that kind of stuff, especially out of Sony, has been where is the passion? How can I reintroduce that? And so that's why I picked this lens up, actually, because this focal length and aperture was the first that I ever had. I like that story. I want to keep telling that story, the story of me and 50mm lenses. I'm really big into 50mm lenses. I really like them on APS-C. I really like them on full frame. And that's all great, but it doesn't scream aesthetically to me. This is something that's going to provide an outlet of passion for you. You know what I mean? I'm sure that it's tough. I'm sure it can handle a lot of challenging situations really well, but it's just not, it doesn't inspire me the way that a lot of other lenses do. That being said, I do really enjoy the bokeh. If you get really pernickety with it, of course there's going to be problems, but I like getting up close to stuff. I like filling the frame, so that's not really an issue for me. Thank you very much for your time and for your attention. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in what I used to make this video, check out the affiliate links in the description. Like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one.